What's going on, everybody? Free to play OG here, and today I am excited to be bringing you an update after 6 months on our free to play account in Marvel Future Fight. Today's video should be a little quicker than our normal account tours, as our last account tour was relatively recent. However, we have made some big leaps since then, and I also just wanted to have one of these on the books for our 6-month marker, as this is a pretty big milestone for a free to play account, and I feel like we're still doing pretty dang well here. So just going to go over most of the gains here. I'm going to skip over things that haven't changed since the last update. So if you have other questions about the account, it was likely covered about a month ago in our last account tour update. All right, guys, without further ado, we're just going to get into this thing. It should be pretty quick and easy today. So I am going to start as usual by showing my agent badge and level, just so you guys can see we are still VIP 0 on this account. Free to play all the way. Badge has gone up a little bit, nothing too crazy. I am taking max HP right now, but mainly because I think all defense is a better bet, but I just don't want to spend the 500,000 gold to switch it. Because genuinely, I don't know that I care that much. I am just getting some extra HP for PvP, which is a nice little bonus for me, but I'll likely change that eventually, so please don't copy. Next thing we're going to take a look at is just going to jump straight into our cards. Our swords and emblems have remained almost entirely the same, and the biggest thing to point out here in the cards is our first 5% Pierce card. Oh yeah, and this one was super fun to get. We were actually able to score that little magic trick we were going for, where we had 2 good stats on the bottom, and then we had undesirable colors on all 4 stars up top. I think it was actually stats for 2 of them that were blue, or 1 that was blue. Anyways, when we re-rolled it, we managed to get the all basic defense blue star in the 4th spot, and I had saved our recraft ticket. So we were able to use our 3-star recraft ticket to guarantee 6 blue stars on this card, get our first bit of Pierce. Granted, these are not particularly desirable stats up top. However, as a 6-month free to play, you better believe we're leaving this sucker alone for now. And then we were able to re-roll the bottom. We lost quality. We had 7 here, but I'm a firm believer that 7 quality and crappy bonus options is nowhere near as good as 5, 6, or 7 quality, mainly 6 or 7 for late game accounts, 5, 6, 7 for like free to play, with good bonus options. So you can see here we did roll cooldown duration, energy attack, physical attack, which is amazing bonus options down here. 4 is a little low, but I'm definitely going to take it at this point. So that card's looking nice and spicy, guys. And then the other thing we did here is we did make an attempt to re-roll the bonus options and quality on our Ghost Rider card. Did not go super well, and that's okay. These things can take time. But what we did do is put a good number of re-rolls into this. We're looking for the proc, and then hopefully ignore defense is really what I'm after here. And decent quality, but we just set for the proc and let her rip. And then when I got down to about 20 mythic cards left, we just took what was acceptable at that point. So we landed on 2 quality, but we do have the proc, cooldown duration, which works out fine. So just going to re-roll this when I save up a few more mythic cards, and we'll go for quality and the proc. And other than that, the 3 cards in the middle haven't changed, but we will be moving on, I think, to working on the Black Panther card next, as it's an easy lock 3, roll 3 situation. But then I also have a similar situation, I believe, on this card, where I could lock 3 stats here and roll 3 and keep Pierce and look for that 5% Pierce with better stats. So that is going to take care of the cards, guys. A little bit of exciting news there. Happy to report the first 5% Pierce card on the account. All right, let's take a look at the inventory really quick. I didn't script this one out quite as much. I have been using the boost points for missions. I talk about this on stream a lot. I don't use them in GBR anymore. I save my boost points and I use them when I farm dispatch to get stage 2 boost points to go for the CTP, mega tier 2 upgrade ticket. And of course, look at this. I got a 3 and a 4 star rank up ticket from boost points. So more of a prestige thing than anything else, as we get the mega rank up tickets. 6-star mega rank up tickets every month now, so not as big of a deal, but still cool finds from boost points, which generally get you next to nothing. And then only things else to point out in here is we still are killing it on the GBRs. We have missed a total of 10 tokens since the start of this account. So 1 day's worth of GBR over the whole time. And most of that, none of that was missing a day of GBR. It was forgetting to do my 3rd run and not getting full tokens for that day. Other than that, I don't think there's much interesting on this page. We do have a couple tier 2 tickets and then 2 mega mythic uniform tickets, which is nice. So we're saving those for like a premium character or something that can utilize them better than a native tier 1 character with easy to access bios. In here, I can show you, got to do some cleaning, obviously. Our CTPs have changed a bit. We got a Mighty Authority. I don't think we had this last time we did a video. I've got this rolled up, and I meant to equip it yesterday on our Super stream we did for 6 months, which, by the way, I feel like checking that out. That was a blast. We ended up streaming for about 6.5 hours to celebrate 6 months on the free-to-play account, and we did all kinds of fun stuff, including one of the craziest artifact runs for Essence with a low amount of Essence that I've ever seen, ever in this game. So if you want to see that, go check it out on the live. The VOD's on the channel. You can go check that out and just skip ahead to where we do the Essence pulls if you want. It was absolutely bonkers, and I'm going to spoil that here in a second. So if you want to see the actual pull, go ahead and check that out. And other than that, we got a conquest yesterday during that stream, which was absolutely awesome. So we're waiting on another conquest to make a Mighty, which will probably go to our Silver Surfer. Hard to say because we're still a ways out. So, but hopefully we get another one soon so we can forge a Mighty and then have another really good usable CTP for the account. Nothing hiding in here, just saving up mythic cards. You can see we're out now. We had about 100 at the start of the stream yesterday, and we went ahead and used them up. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the artifacts now. Yesterday we got this. We actually pulled this. We got the Strife artifact, I believe, from our pulls yesterday. We got the Dr. Doom artifact from our pulls yesterday. We got the Professor X artifact from our pulls yesterday. We got, doesn't stop there, we got 4-star Thena from our polls yesterday. We got, oh yeah, that's right, 6-star Adam Warlock from our polls yesterday. 6-star, what's his name? Sunbird, Firebird, Songbird, Fire Sun Man thing, Sunbird. 6-star Sunbird artifact yesterday, and believe it or not, we pulled this 6-star Mr. Sinister artifact yesterday on stream. So that was absolutely bonkers. And just take a guess at how much Essence you think I had when I started pulling for these artifacts that we got. Leave you there. OBs, we've got a couple. It's hard to tell. You can't really see the difference because we equip or we don't, and then they stack up or they don't. We did get a heal. That's something I can report. This is the first heal on the account, and I was very happy to see it. Without World Boss Ultimate being part of the equation anymore, free-to-play players struggle to get Odin's Blessings. So I'm hoping that the Shadowlands chest changes and beefing up my story mode is going to help me find more Odin's Blessings on the free-to-play, because it can be a bit of a challenge. And then swords are looking boring, looking all the same. I'll walk you through the materials real quick so you can see where we're at. We spent so much yesterday. We spent about 60 million gold. We spent a bunch of tier 3 materials, ton of tier 2 materials. We need more BAM. We spent a bunch of BAM. Apparently at some point I had like 7K or something like that yesterday, so we spent out a lot. I do have some high quality BAM waiting here. This is for Silver Surfer. That's why I have 4 rank 6 black antimatter sitting in my bags. We're just kind of at a pause right now with Silver Surfer because the gold and the biometric investment is insane. It's really the bios that are crazy for Silver Surfer. Excuse me. You can see our tier 3 mats here. We burned up our CCF yesterday. I believe we had around 7,000 before we started the stream yesterday. So definitely spent some of that, burnt down some of our tier 3 mats, but golly, we just can't get rid of them. So it's looking like this is the start of our tier 3 mats running away and turning into ridiculously large numbers. Moving on here, the only other things worth looking at really, you can see we have no essence because it is gone now. This is something I think is really cool. So yesterday we did tier 4 our Hulk. And after the tier 4, I went to the shops because I had planned to do that if we needed extra materials for Hulk. And this is what we ended up with right after our tier 4. So we literally did a tier 4 yesterday and we are back up to 2000 carbonadium. I'm just blown away by how many tier 4 materials we were able to put away over the last 2 updates. We tier 4'd 2 characters in 30 days. I'm gonna show you that here in a second, but I'm just like, really happy, really impressed. I'm glad they're ramping this up so people can get more tier 4s on their accounts. It's really important. We don't want to be getting like 1 tier 4 a month anymore. It's just not good enough. We can't keep up, we can't catch up. So yeah, very, very nice on the tier 4 mats for sure. Stacking up tons of Rune of the Unknown. We're just waiting for that gold discount so we can go ahead and rock and roll on our swords. We've got a bunch of runes saved up that I'm hoping we can use. I need to check in the craft section and see if I can convert these, because I'll bet I can. I'll bet I can convert these to another color, and since we have a 6-gem blue sword, that would be very wise. So I'm gonna look into doing that. Anyhow, you can see our Demiurge and Godstone here. They are really stacked up because there's, you know, the investment is tough on a 6-month free-to-play. To take a tier 4 to the next level is kind of like tough, but we have done an elite gear. I think we had done that the last update. I'm not positive. We'll take a look anyhow. And then our bios are decimated because, well, we used them all yesterday. So there you go. That's going to wrap up the roster nice and easy. Next thing we'll take a look, or not roster, excuse me, the inventory. The next thing we will take a look at is the roster. So let's go ahead and jump out of that, head into the roster here. And I am going to remember, believe it or not, maybe, there we go, to move my stupid giant head out of the way. There you go. Now we're talking. You can see the roster here, guys. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tier 4s in 6 months. I'm pretty happy about that. That was a lot of hard work and dedication, farming materials constantly, trying not to let any of them slip away. And yeah, it paid off. We've gone over most of these builds. Actually, I checked the last video I did. We looked at Doctor Strange, we looked at Null, we looked at Storm, and we looked at Thor, I believe. But we're going to look at a couple others today. I'm going to go ahead and show you Magic's build. And this is one I plan on working on stream today, because I didn't realize I had so much I could improve on her build. And Magic at tier 4, has just been a blast for this account. I do know that at some point we're going to be like getting to a place where, like, maybe as a new free-to-play, you aren't picking up Magic. I guess I don't know how long she's going to stay in the meta. Right now, she just cooks for me. As like a 6-month free-to-play player, she's one of my strongest units, hands down, under Nolan Sentry. In fact, she is. It's easy to say. She is my strongest PvP unit besides Nolan Sentry, easily. And yeah, I don't know how long it's going to last, because I don't know if she's going to get another uniform that keeps her in the meta, or we're just going to be using this one till it runs out of juice. But right now, she's still juicy, baby. So we're going to keep rocking and rolling. Look at this, man. Look at all this extra HP we could get in here. So we're going to go ahead and fix up her HP. Fix up all her Uru. I don't know why she has all these 5-star Uru. That's my bad. What a bunch of neglect. So get in here and fix those up. Give her a nice little stat bump there. Her type enhancement's good. Need to fix up her ISO set, so I'll do that today as well. These are kind of like big jumps. These things matter. So we'll get her stage 12 on her ISO set. She still is rocking the 4-star artifact, which is respectable, but we would love to see our 5 or 6 for her. Would be very nice. And then I'm still rocking the obelisk for our magic. We've got guard break immunity, ignore dodge, and the 0.8 per 1 mini rage. This is not what I want. This is sort of left over from when we were doing ABL with magic before Storm came out. So I'm really hoping to find greeds, I guess. We have the Mighty Authority, but I think the Mighty Authority is better served on our Black Widow and then waiting for the greed for magic. I think that's what we're going to do. Even though when I look at things and don't, you know, the guys who know these things know what they're talking about. And that's why I'm probably going to go with the greed regardless of what I think. But I feel like because her offense is so high and her defense is where she struggles with dying, that something like an authority or a conquest would be nice. But people test these things, and they've decided a greed is good. And I think that has to do with when you get higher in PvP, the defensiveness of other players becomes ridiculous. So without the greed to cut through those defenses, you're going to have trouble killing characters. That's my assumption based on the things I've seen. And then the mythic uniform. So doing pretty good on magic. This is actually nice here, I believe. As a free-to-play player, you guys may know or not know this, uniform options are kind of a luxury. They're not something you really build into because you don't have this huge stack of uniforms unless you've been playing for a long time. So to see 2 uniform bonuses like this is very nice, especially Gwenpool. Being able to give her the max HP here is fantastic. Need to go ahead and rank that up to mythic. I'm seeing that now. And then absolutely going to rank up my Colossus uniform somehow. I may actually just go ahead and use one of those Mega Mythic tickets, because I don't think I'm going to be force closing the app to get whatever it is, like 780 bios. I made that number up, but something crazy to get his uniform all the way to Mythic. So probably use a ticket there to cheat and get her some extra defenses, which would be really, really nice. So anyway, it's going to be working on Magic. Now I'll show you a build that's more complete. We did our Hulk yesterday. I had a lot of fun doing this. I kind of like saved all Hulk's upgrades up, and then we went from a Dirty Bird Hulk up to a Hulkamania, and it was really fun, and the results were pretty awesome. So we've definitely got 6-star HP Uru here, and then whatever else here, it really doesn't matter. His stats are all capped. I've heard conflicting reports about attack and stuff, but I don't know that any of that's true. As far as I know, it's only HP that affects Hulk's attack outside of the ISO 8 set. So these are just kind of here as placeholders. I'm not going to upgrade them to 6 stars or anything. They're left over from a long time ago when I didn't have anything else to put in here. So, but I do notice high-end players putting attack on their Hulks, but I think it's just because there's nothing else. You just do it because that's what you do. But if it didn't affect them at all, it seems like wasting Uru with attack on them, like I did, is a terrible idea if it does literally nothing. Because then you might as well just have, as much as this sucks, you might as well just have empty slots. I'm wasting Uru at that point because his stats are all capped, so there's nothing I can get here except for like dodge if I wanted it. And they're overcapped by an absurd amount, 53% overcapped on the crit. Hello. So all that to say, all of these Uru are potentially useless, and really then, if we're talking about Hulk, I'm kind of getting on a tangent here. People should be advised to just equip your 8 HP Uru, and if your stats are capped, you don't need anything else. Don't waste Uru, right? But, like I said, I don't know why high-end players have attack on their Hulks, but they do. All right, moving on here. Skills, of course, are maxed because we're tier 4. Type enhancement, this was awesome. Got this on stream. Very cool. I'll leave out the details, but it was another fun part of that stream. I can barely remember it because it was like a blur doing everything we did. So much happened on that stream yesterday. It was an absolute blast. I hope y'all will check it out. But yeah, we got so many cool things done. So much fun RNG. It was a good time. We got the Stave 12 Power of Angry Hulk on him. You can use one of the defensive sets. A lot of people do that, but I go ahead with Power of Angry Hulk because for some reason, this ISO 8 set actually does affect his attack. It does increase his damage. I don't know why. It just apparently works that way. And then, of course, we've got the mighty CTP of competition on ya boy. We did manage to pick these up through the event, which was absolutely awesome. We got that nice 7-second cooldown on the bottom there. And I believe we're just shy of perfect. Yeah, 50 out of 60 on the top proc, which is just fine. And then Mythic on the uniform, baby. So Hulk having a decent build here, I'd say. Pretty dang respectable. The only thing really you can get into here, if he could have heal Odin's Blessings top to bottom, that would be amazing. But I can't make that kind of investment into the Hulkster. So there you go. That takes care of our Hulk. I will show you really quick. We looked at Storm's build before, but she does have our other CTP of competition, and this one is rolled perfectly, which is awesome. We got the 60% up top, and we got the 55% on the bottom. You gotta love it. It may not be perfectly. I don't know if any of these mid stats roll, but these aren't nearly as important as the 7-second cooldown on the bottom and the 60% Fury proc on the top. Let's see. I don't know if there's any other builds really to look at here. Black Widow I've been enjoying a lot. She's been kind of a fun piece. I need to give her HP Uru. This is something I realized, like, she is missing a bunch of HP Uru and she needs them. So I'm gonna get those in there. It'll be a big upgrade. Not sure how she ended up that way. I think we were using her for PvE quite a bit. So a long time ago, I made sure to cap her PvE stats, which makes a lot of sense, right? But now I'm using her pretty much exclusively in PvP. Not exclusively, I still use her in PvE occasionally, but she is more of a PvP unit for us now, so I do want to make sure she gets all the HP there. I need to work on her type enhancement. Her ISO set needs a bunch of work. This is looking like doo-doo. Actually, might try something new here. I might try something. Her survivability tends to be her biggest issue, so if I can get her something that'll help keep her alive, it might be worth it, but we also can't lose a bunch of attack on her because she's not quite like Magic, where she just does absurd amounts of damage, although it's pretty dang good. But yeah, I think we're going to put that Mighty Authority on our friend here. I don't want to put it on Magic and reserve a slot that should be agreed when we can just put it on Black Widow, who should have an authority. She can use a greed, but there's no way I'm going to put a mighty greed on Black Widow over Magic. So she'll probably get the authority and then a greed for Magic when we get one. And then that conquest is probably going to be Silver Surfer or Wolverine or something like that when we get the mighty conquest. Yeah, and then other than that, Loki is the only other one I really like. I was looking at him this morning and I'm kind of sad because I really want to start using him. I really want to start learning him and using him. And his build's getting there. We did manage to pull this artifact out of the Timeline Survival event. This was our reward, which was nice. So we got that and actually rolled to the right instinct as well, which is crazy on a 3-star is nice because you can't re-roll them. We don't have the rage, man. And you feel not having the rage big time on Loki. He's got to rage out, man. So until we get a CTP of rage for him, he's pretty much out of the question as far as competing in ABL. We can actually get better scores with our null because he's built so well. So he just kind of chills for now, waiting in the wings. And I'm not sure when or if he's gonna get that rage, but we'll see. We will see. So there you go. I'll walk you down the roster here. Next tier 4 is going to be Sentry. Really excited to start working on that. That's why I'm so excited. We've got all those leftover tier formats. They're going to go straight into our boy here, get Bob built up. Wolverine hasn't changed much. I shifted him more into PvP, and I probably will get him a tier 4 sooner or later, I think, but I kind of feel like they're starting to be bigger priorities. Like I'd rather have a Void Knight Silver Surfer right now than Wolverine. I'm not gonna lie. Moving down the list here, we tier 3'd Groot for the ranked battle to see if I could get some extra points. That was a fail. No, we could not. It wasn't nearly impactful enough to get enough points to go up in rank, but it was pretty fun. And now I've got a tier 3 Groot, which actually I've been enjoying pairing up with Sentry in Team Battle Arena for the revive, so he can distract people, and all the healing that he provides. It's kind of nice. Moving down the list here, we did tier 3 Cyclops, getting ready to pick up his uni, maybe Black Friday, probably not earlier than that, but we will be picking up that uniform, absolutely. So we got tier 3 Cyclops. Moving down the list here, there's not much else that's new. We got Yondu, and we did pick up the seasonal uniform for Yondu. Working on a build for Hela. I'd really like to find her artifact and get her more viable in PvP for our team. Gamora has the mighty energy. I think she had that last time. She's been cooking for us a bit. I'm not sure if I want to tier 4 her. I'm thinking we might. We might go Sentry and then Gamora for our next tier 4 because Gamora covers our Luna Snow days, which we will never cover with Luna Snow, obviously. Well, not never. If she got a free-to-play uniform, we could use it. But for now, Gamora is what we have. And she does pretty dang well. So she is covering a day of ABX, so it wouldn't hurt to tier 4 her. Plus, we end up using her quite a bit in World Boss Legend, and at tier 4, she would work a lot better for us. So I'm kind of thinking of this just now because she kind of sits down there out of sight, out of mind. But after Sentry, I think she might be a good target for our what'll that be, 11th tier 4. Moving down the line here, we got a few, like, I transcended Luke Cage because we built him up to 70. I was like, we might as well take him all the way once you've invested the bios. We did pick up Scooby-O for sure. Absolutely awesome support uniform. Grabbed that sucker. So those were our 2 seasonals we picked up. And then we did bring Kingpin and MODOK up to 70 for story mode ultimate puzzle pieces. I mean, we've gotten plenty of new tier 2s since the last video. Not a big deal. I will show you Shadowlands. I'll show you how far we've pushed. I don't think we have any new characters or anything to talk about since the last video. It has only been a month, so we've probably made some progress on builds. Like we did, actually, we've probably acquired Victorious since the last time we made this video. And an interesting thing to note is that epic quest is completely bugged out, and I had no idea. It asks you to build Victorious to 3 stars and gives you absolutely no way to do that. So I ended up having to use a 6-star mega rank up ticket on her, which I wasn't super mad about it. And then after you do that, it changes the epic quest stages to then provide shifter bios. It is so bizarre. But anyways, we got that. We're finishing up the Fantastic Four epic quest. Working on getting these... I'm trying to get these guys to 6 stars, but I keep eating their bios before they get there. I got to run the daily missions, and I just get behind and I forget to do it. or just don't have the energy to spare. And then I don't think we've picked up anyone new down here. So that's going to do it for the roster, guys. We did get a few new biometrics, nothing crazy. We got like some Hyperion bios, I think. So we're on our way there. And then Enchantress is the same. So just the Hyperion bios, it looks like. All right, guys, moving on from there, we are going to check out some of our game modes here really quick, and I'll try and speed this up. I'm starting to ramble, and this video is going to be longer than I wanted it to be. You can see we're closing in on finishing these up. I got to get Red Skull to 70, then Electra, and then we're good there. I'm really into getting these all filled up so that we're getting maximum story mode pieces. I know there was some disappointment with the story mode fragments when they made the changes, but as a 6-month free-to-play, I am loving those chests. I do think now they give you more desirable rewards more often. It's pretty obvious because they removed those type enhancement tickets, and I can feel the difference. So really trying to maximize that mode. There's not much to show you in Dispatch at all, except for after readjusting my sectors a few times, I was able to get both my Essence sectors to 15. Power here, which is really nice. So a little bit of extra essence, and other than that, it's the same, kind of like 10, 10, 15, 15, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 5, 5, 5, 5. There's a couple fives. Anyways, there you go. There's Dispatch. Oh, and then I didn't show this last time. I think I'm just going to leave my head right there, honestly. I didn't show this last time because my big fat head was in the way. We did get level 50 Dispatch, and I forgot to celebrate that on the last video, I think, because we hadn't done it before that. This was a huge deal. We did this like maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago at this point, could be even more, but I never mentioned it on one of these videos. This is a huge deal. You get an extra 10% bonus across all your sectors. So now we're getting 50% bonus rewards from all our sectors. Very, very nice. Let's get me, I don't know what else I've covered up. I forgot I was up there. That's what happens. Move yourself around and forget where you're sitting. Let's see here. Not much else to show you here. Epic quests, I won't bother. We're moving along. We're just finishing up the Fantastic Four. World Boss, this is a big one. Let me show you guys what we've been up to in here. So for World Boss here, we did go ahead and break into World Boss Legend Plus a little bit ago, and we have gone ahead and pushed our Black Swan up to stage 9. So we are on stage 9 Black Swan. Of course, we're going to be stuck on stage 9 on any World Boss Legend Plus bosses for a while, most likely, because basically we would have to get lucky and have the requirement be one of the tier 4s we already have, which is very unlikely. Moving on, we got to Black Dwarf Ebony Maw, and you can see we are at stage 7 on Black Dwarf Ebony Maw, so not quite pushed up all the way on this one, still working on it. And then we've got the last World Boss Legend Plus here, Thanos himself. And we were able to kill Thanos, which is awesome, on a 6-month free-to-play account. Not only were we able to kill Thanos, we were able to kill Thanos on stage 9. And I was pretty happy about that. That was a pretty big milestone for the free-to-play account before 6 months. I really wanted to have all the World Boss Legend Pluses pushed up to stage 9, but alas, Corvus and Proxima rained a bunch of poo on our parade. So that did not happen, but that's okay. Any other updates? We're pushing up Jean Grey. We're heading towards stage 20. We're pushing Kang. I think we've passed stage 10 on Kang. We're now pushing up towards stage 20. So moving along, making really good progress there. Shadowlands, we pushed up to stage 95 on the free-to-play, which is really good, guys. We're on our way. I think it's 110 for the Mega Tier 2, and then that 135. 135? Yeah, 135 or 136 for the CTP selector. So we can get another CTP of Rage, and that'll be really nice. Excited for that. Zombie Survival, we've just been same old, same old. I'll walk you through the PvP stuff really quick. We dropped back down into Platinum this week. The bans are crazy. There's no Sentry, so we're just working with Null, and it's been going all right. We're about to reset today, and we are at rank 57, so doing decent. It's been some wins, some losses, you know. It's kind of tough to do those in the morning because I'm a bit groggy, but it works out better for the ranking. Otherworld Battle, we're still in Plat. Dropped down a bit to get challenges today. Got to get those challenges. I like to get the extra rewards. Once I get higher than Platinum, we push into Vibranium, and that's when the debuffs start applying, and we will be in tough shape. So right at the top of Platinum is probably a great place for us to be right now, and that's where we're at. Team Battle Arena, we are getting absolutely destroyed this season. Just crushed, man. It is a tough season for us with Null banned. We are just like down our heaviest hitter. We got completely clipped by the strong whoopsies, by the strong ban, and man, it has been rough. You can see it's been brutal. So brutal that, like, I gotta be honest, I could be trying a lot harder than I am, and I don't think I should be, because it would be a lot of effort for a tiny bit of gain. I'm worried we may drop out of Vibranium, but that's okay. We'll climb right back up once the bans change. But it's just a brutal ban for us. Brutal ban, having null banned out. But anyways, that's pretty much it for PvP. Alliance Conquest, the Alliance is killing it, man. We're moving on up into the top 1,000 now. We started in this was a pre-made Alliance, so our Alliance Conquest rank was very, very low, and we've been pushing every week, and we are up to 963 there. All right, folks, let me check my notes here, make sure we went over pretty much everything there. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to show you all. That's pretty much the state of the account after 6 months free to play. Hope you enjoyed the tour, guys. Like I said, we did that 6-month live stream. It was super, super fun. 6.5 hours. The VOD is up on my channel, obviously, and in the free-to-play series playlist. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, learned anything, had a good time, go ahead and hit that like button. You know it helps out a lot. If you want to see the live stream series we're doing every day at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, go ahead and subscribe to get alerts about that. We got more guide videos on the way. Ultron World Boss Legend should be next. All right, my friends, I'm Old and Gray. This is Free to Play, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. We'll see you on the next one.